Hello everyone. Today we are going to start another topic which is cellular signaling. It is also known as signal transduction. It is the process by which cells receive, interpret and respond to information from their environment. This allows cells to communicate and make decisions such as grow, divide, change, shape, move or even eventually die. Every signaling process has three major stages in which first is signal reception, where a signal molecule binds to a specific receptor. This ligand can be hydrophilic or hydrophobic signals. After receiving, the receptor changes shape and activates intracellular proteins or secondary messengers. In cellular response, the signal alters cell behavior, which includes many changes. There are several types of chemical signaling, which involves contact-dependent signaling, paracrine signaling, synaptic, endocrine or autocrine signaling. Next, we will cover some major signaling pathways. First one is GPCR, which is one of the largest receptor families, which involved neurons, hormones, senses and more. The mechanism involves where a ligand binds to GPCR on the cell surface. The receptor changes shape and activates a trimeric G protein attached inside the cell. The alpha subunit releases GDP and binds GTP, which becomes active. Now the alpha subunit and beta and gamma complex separate. They either activate or inhibit downstream targets like adenyl cyclase or ion channels. The activated effector proteins generate secondary messengers like CAMP or calcium ions. Next, we will come to know about second pathway. These are the secondary messengers CAMP and calcium ions. Next is CAMP, which is cyclic AMP, a classic second messenger. In this, a signal activates a receptor, which is often a GPCR receptor. This activation stimulates adenyl cyclase to convert ATP into CAMP. CAMP binds to the regulatory part of protein kinase A, which is also known as pKa. pKa becomes active and phosphorylates target proteins, which then carry out the cellular response. It is a phosphorylation process where it targets and phosphorylates target proteins, and a cellular response is carried out. Next pathway is a RTK, which is receptor tyrosine kinase. These receptors have their own enzyme activity as they add phosphate groups to tyrosines, as the kinase term denotes that it adds phosphate groups to tyrosine residues. In step 1, a ligand, that is a growth factor, binds to an RTK. Two RTK molecules come together and this process is known as dimerization. The RTKs phosphorylate each other, that is cross phosphorylation on tyrosine residues, also known as autophosphorylation. And one major route is activation of RAS, that is MAPK pathway here. Here, as you can see, RTK is activated by autophosphorylation, and here tyrosine residues on it are getting phosphorylated on, and they become docking sites for the coming adapter proteins and makes a activated intracellular signal protein. In RAS MAPK pathway, RAS swaps GDP for GTP and becomes active. In the last, ERK enters the nucleus and activates transcription factors, means its ultimate route is activating transcription factors inside the nucleus. Next pathway is JAK-STAT pathway. Also, it is especially important for immune responses and cytokine signaling. It is important in cytokine signaling. Its full name is Janus kinase STAT pathway. Here a ligand, that is a cytokine, bind to a receptor. The receptor associates with JAK, that is Janus kinase, which phosphorylate each other. Same cross phosphorylation takes place, each other, that is cross phosphorylation. The activated receptor becomes a docking site for STAT proteins. STATs are phosphorylated and they form dimers, and they later on move into the nucleus. STAT dimers regulate gene transcription later on. In addition to this, cell signaling includes secondary messengers and small molecules like CAMP, IP3, DAG, calcium ions, cGMP, which when we will go in depth about these signaling pathways, we will come to know about these secondary messengers also. These relay and amplify signals inside the cell. Now, these cellular outcomes of signaling result to many processes, and these include change in gene expression, altered metabolism, cell division or cell death, apoptosis that we know, change in shape or movement, and also differentiation into specialized cells. So this was all about cell signaling. In next chapter we will cover another topic. Thank you so much.